All right, howdy folks. I tried a new little intro. Hopefully it worked. I guess I'll find out in about 8 seconds when my stream catches up. All right, so we've got someone, as in that's the username. How you doing? We've got Jamal, welcome. Brian, how you going? Ben, how are you, mate? Pete, welcome as well. So yeah, hopefully that little, I don't know if anyone saw that little intro thing, but hopefully it worked. I put that together this morning because I always fumble around for about the first minute, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to put a little bit of a loop there, and hopefully that works. So yeah, if there's any problems with the audio there, let us know. All right, Pete, welcome. I might have already said hi, but if not, we've got a Bumble. Thanks, man. Thanks, Jamal. Ben, welcome. Shane, New York. All right, I'm gonna have to pop the chat out already. It's flying by. I am still a little bit under the weather, so apologies for my voice. I don't often do sort of like these kind of videos, like the unboxing ones, but this looked really cool, and I thought it was sort of something that completely went under the radar for me as well, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. Stephen, welcome. Barry, let us know where you're all from too, guys. Yeah, feeling better. Like, head colds just suck. You know, like, they don't stop me from doing stuff, but it's, you know, they just sort of, they're just annoying. Like, I still try to do whatever I can, but I can't narrate Guitar Search Saturday at the moment. So I really wanted to get one up for this weekend, but it's not going to happen. So it'll be next week. If you see me looking over the camera, my comments are right behind it now, so hopefully this works better. We've got Matt, welcome. Greg said he saw about 3 seconds of it. Yeah, I didn't have it up there for long. I'm messing around with some scenes and stuff now. So plans are for next year, I want to get this live streaming rig kind of better, a bit more interesting and better quality as well. Quality's pretty good, but yeah, I got some plans for it next year too, hopefully. All right, we've got Don from Alaska. I always wanted to go to Alaska. It's one place on my list. I have to make that happen. Greetings from North Carolina. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Spoke to Nick today as well with him and his family. Yeah, I've been meaning to text Nick in the States, or email him at least anyway, because yeah, I haven't seen him post in a while. So yeah, look, I'm going to try and keep this live stream under 30 minutes. People complain if they go too long when they watch it back. So this might be a quick one, and then we'll do another one coming up, just Q&A and whatever else. And feel free to throw in some questions as well. But what I thought I'd do is I'm just going to bring up the website here. Now, they haven't asked me to do this or anything. This is just something that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm under no obligation to, you know, share anything on the channel that I don't want. But while I was in Germany, I actually got an email from a company in Miami, Florida, and they said, pick a guitar, we'd love to send you one. And I was like, man, how cool is that? So yeah, it was pretty awesome. That sort of stuff doesn't happen that often. I guess it happens a little bit, but based on where I am and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't happen that much. I think, you know, I might get maybe one guitar or something like that every year or something. So it's not overly common, but you know what? I thought these looked pretty sweet, and I wanted to share a little bit of what I chose and why. And I thought it might be kind of fun for you guys to check it out as well, because they're an American brand, or engineered in the US, but they're made offshore. I think they're made in South Korea. But so are the PRSs, and they rock. So let's check this out. All right. When's the Fender GT100 firmware 2.0 mauling coming? Mauling, no. Actually, it's coming up probably this weekend, all being well, maybe Sunday. I was more surprised by it now than I have been in the past, so it's not bad. It's not all good either, but it's much better than it was. And yeah, so I did a bit of a different video with it. I have less expectations about it. All right, so here we go. Let's bring this beast over. I've just got to watch out. It's got some personal details on the other side of the sender and so forth. So this is what I picked up from the post office. Actually, it's extremely light. It's just awkward. So I know that's upside down, but that's the way it rolls. So yeah, this is cool. Like I said, I feel funny doing unboxing videos of items like this, but the fact is I've never seen one of these guitars before. And I got this yesterday and I've been dying to open it. And I woke up early like, oh, I want to open this guitar box. So I was like, all right, let's make it happen. So I don't know what's in here in terms of if there's a case, if there's not a case, how it's packed, all that kind of stuff. But I hear really great things about their straight out of the box performance, which is something that I'm looking forward to testing. And you know, it's worth sometimes showing you how companies pack guitars as well. That's always a good sign. Aha! All right, so this is going to make a full-blown mess here. Let's do it. I'll check the comments here. Dave the Hair, how are you? Quality is fine, way better than some. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. I work with what I've got. You know, I don't have the most elaborate upstreaming capability here. I live in Australia. I got like 1.5 megabit upload. So, but I somehow managed to get it to work okay. So, oh, excuse me. Like I said, guys, I'm a bit sick. If I cough and that, I apologise. I'll try not to. Oh, here we go. So there's a box within a box, and it's full of those little things you're not supposed to eat. Those little green rice-looking things. All right, so this is from Rick in Miami, Florida. This is the box here, another box. It says, thanks Shane, enjoy. So there we go. I need more scissors. Walter from Brazil, welcome. Drum roll. Adam EVH, welcome. Edward, how you going? Pensacola, Florida. It's a great part of the world. What else we got here? Murdoch says, hey Shane, been watching your videos for years. Keep it up. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for the support. It was awesome to hit 100,000 subscribers too. It felt like it was a long time coming, I guess, just because I'd been at it for so long. I know a lot of channels just grow really quick, but yeah, I was sort of steady, slow and steady. And it looks like oh man, it feels good. So first impressions is about the weight. It's about the same, it's like a light Strat, I would say. All right, so this one's called I want to pronounce it right, the Mendiola, which I believe is a Spanish name. And this is from a company called PureSalem Guitars. Like I said, Rick was nice enough to let me, not Dr. Rick, another Rick, was nice enough to let me pick one. They make a whole lot of lefties, which is pretty cool, which is really cool because most companies don't. It doesn't cost any extra, which is another good thing too. Wow. Have a look at this. I'll show you this before I explain. Actually, I'll explain it as we talk. So there's a couple of reasons I went for this. One, it's kind of like a Telecaster. The first initial impressions of it is the binding is fantastic. It looks really classy. It's got that sort of 60s Telecaster-ish kind of look to the fretboard, which is what I really like. Sorry, my comments have just disappeared here. Just fire this back up. Ben Chan, welcome, man. Here since 2007, would love a Crate V30 refresh video. If I get my hands on another one, mate, I'll do it. They're a really great amp. I just had some reliability issues with mine, so I had it fixed and then I sold it. But yeah, so we've got two pickups. It's got like a slanted neck tally pickup, which I thought was great. Now, I didn't really understand what that would do, but because this part of the pickup isn't so close to the end of the fretboard. Supposedly it gives you a little bit more clarity, or maybe takes out the low end a little bit, which is probably a good thing as well. And you can check out I think that's the mini humbucker here as well. So this is kind of like the reverse of my little Crow. And I didn't want to just double up. If you know my theory with guitars, I don't often like to duplicate stuff. So for me, this is pretty cool. It's got a modern sort of neck. It's a bit like a Mexican Strat kind of feel, but a much nicer finish. I like the color's awesome too. It's got this, it's probably hard to see, it's got some dust on it, but it's got a very, like a sparkle kind of thing through it. And you're seeing the reflection on my ceiling, which is that sort of like stone. So it's probably not coming through properly, but it looks unreal. And the other thing I loved about this, volume, tone, toggle switch, done. Nice and simple. So check this out as well. We have some locking tuners, another huge plus. And I love the headstock too. I think that looks great. The logo looks good. Yeah, so let us know what you think. We're going to plug it in as well, so don't worry about that. I'll put my comments here for the moment, and then I'll move it back. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate that. We got Pork Chop from Houston. Welcome. All right, so it's a 12-inch radius, and it's got pin lock style tuners. So these are custom to the actual brand. They're not like shallow ones or whatever, which would be fine too, but the actual tuners made by the company, which is pretty sweet. You don't see that a whole lot. And it looks like the nut. Yeah, definitely. It looks like looks pretty cool. Doesn't look like a cheap piece of crap. And I wasn't expecting that, but you can see some guitars, they just sort of cut corners on stuff, and they haven't done that with this at all. It's a 24 3/4 scale length, 12-inch radius. That's got the Tune-o-matic bridge. So the mini humbucker is one called an Attack Captain, and the single coil neck tally pickup, and it's got medium jumbo frets, which was another huge plus as well. Most guitars I have, I love to have like the larger frets. I think it just makes a big difference to its longevity and just the feel on how you bend and all that kind of stuff. Because, I don't know, there's nothing wrong with the vintage frets, but I kind of feel like they just don't last that long. Now this is going to be right out of tune. They detune them for shipping. So how about I plug it in? How about I tune it up first? That would be even better. Actually, I've got the Kemper, so we might as well grab a cable. All right. So if anyone has any questions, let us know. David, nice to catch you live. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Candy Apple Metallic. That's exactly right, actually. It's very much like that. And just skip over to the tuner here so I don't kill you with the... Oh, you can still hear it. Hang on. Let's just do this for a minute. All right, this is going to be right out of tune. What about putting a 22 fret neck on a body that came with 21 frets? Any issues? Just your intonation will be out probably. You might want to have it set up again, but I don't think it'll make any difference. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Like, I'm not like a tech when it comes to... I mean, I can fix stuff, but I've never really experimented with that. But what I do know is a good friend of mine put a Gibson scale neck on a Strat, so I don't think it really matters. You can kind of do what you like as long as it doesn't, as long as it fits properly. Now I'm just going to tune this roughly, and then I'll bring up the other tuner, which I actually prefer. All right, let's plug this back in. I don't know what preset I'm on right now. What am I on? The DSL. All right, still out of tune. Let's do it like this. Here we go. All right, I'll be 20 seconds, I reckon, not even. This tune is much better. Odds are it's going to go out a bit because the strings are new and it's turned up from overseas. Suits you already, put a guitar strap on. You know what? I actually got one while I was away. I got one from a shop we did a Guitar Search Saturday at called MJ Guitars. And that's the one that's going to go on this, I'm pretty sure. I'll just give these a quick stretch. Now one of the, like I mentioned, for those who have just joined, one of the standout things is how great these are supposed to play straight out of the box. So let's see. Feels pretty good. So that's bridge pickup, and that was with the tone down, I think. Yeah, it was. So here we go. This is with the volume up. I didn't realize, sorry. We'll test it clean in a minute. That was just the preset I was on. What gauge strings? They feel like 10s, I think. Yeah, I'd say they'd be 10s. I'm not too sure what their stock ones are, but it feels like that. Might be 9s. Actually, either it's really easy to play and they're 10s, or they're 9s. All I know is I'll definitely be putting 10s on here before. I've got a gig tonight actually, so if I get this sorted out and I feel comfortable, I'll take it up and give it a play. All right, so let's bridge this neck. Yeah, I guess both pickups. Still a bit out of tune. I'm going to change sounds here. Let's get over to something a little less nasty. PV Bandit Dirt. Alright, let's just do one more tune. It's actually not that far out, which is good. It just means the strings are probably... And usually the first thing I do when I get a guitar from anywhere overseas, I cut the strings off, put some new strings on. Murdoch says, I know he's a Pepsi drinker. Pepsi Max is my poison of choice. What are we on? A neck. It's not too bad. Whew, the bridge is awesome. So Will asks, how many models do they make? They have quite a number. I think there's, let me just double check, but in lefties they do pretty much most of them as well. I think all of them, at least to my knowledge. I think I'm going to say somewhere around 12 models. You can go to PureSalem-Guitars, or just type in PureSalem Guitars into Google and it will come up with their website. So the price of this one's $940. And that's US dollars. So yeah, it seems pretty reasonable for a guitar of this quality. The two guitars I'm going to compare this to price-wise would be and not price-wise, but in similar price / quality would be, obviously my PRS would be a really great comparison. I'm going to probably say this feels slightly nicer. Like the finish is probably a higher quality. It really reminds me, for a short period of time I owned a Reverend guitar, and it kind of reminds me of a Reverend guitar, and they're great guitars. So just in terms of its feel and finish and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of a Reverend-ish guitar. But if you go to, they got, actually, so if you go to their website, they've got right and left-handed menus straight off the guitars tab, and you can check out everything they got. So in the lefties, they've got maybe, 12, 15 models. And in the right-handed, you poor right-handers, how many have you got? I don't know, probably 20. So yeah, you get a few more. And they've got all kinds of stuff, from like the Bo Diddley guitars to the jazz or Jaguar style ones, or Jaguar. Woo, I like that. Let's add some delay. Oh man, that mini humbucker is awesome. Mini humbuckers are maybe the most underrated pickups. I don't know, there's something about them that's just awesome. I love the color on that thing, Shane. What are your thoughts about the mid-priced Black Star Artist, not the Artisan amps, 15 or 30? Look, to be honest, I haven't heard a Black Star amp in a live gig that I've liked. They always sound really scooped and really bottom heavy, like too much bass. And I don't know if it's just the guys I've heard use them or not, but I haven't really found one that just blew me away yet. So yeah, I'm yet to find a Black Star amp that I go, oh wow, you know, that I'd love to get one of them. I think their strength is maybe some of their like practice amplifiers. But if that's what you're asking, then their practice amps are pretty cool. Sonia, welcome. Oh, here we go. So Eric says, I think Rick has the same factory making these PureSalem guitars as the ones that make the Reverends. Well, that would kind of, well, I didn't know that. So that's kind of like explains why it feels great, because Reverend guitars are awesome. Oh man, the locking tuners are so cool. I'm impressed. You know, I think this is the only guitar I've got with them. I used to have a Strat with locking tuners, and they're just a great tool. I'm loving that bridge pickup. Sounds great. Mini humbucker rocks. Thanks, Simon. Johnny, welcome. Sorry for the double post. I didn't see it, so all good. Sometimes you got to double post so I can actually see what's going Max says, morning Shane, no Harley Benton lefties yet. I'm in the process of hopefully organising a couple to be at least featured on the channel at some point, so I'll keep you posted. I used to own a HT Club 40 and have the same critique, totally overpowering bottom end. Well, there you go. Yeah, well, Ben, I didn't even know you owned one, but I got a couple of other friends as well that have them, and I just find them extremely lackluster. They lack all the mids that you want when you play live. And people hear bottom end, they go, oh, this is going to be awesome, and then you hear it in the mix, and it's like a mud factory. Is there a factory that makes mud? Emil from Sweden, welcome. From Malmö. Do some Stevie Ray Vaughan. Oh, here we go. Let's not do that. Oh, ha! I should have been in F sharp, shouldn't I? Yeah, it plays pretty good. I hate playing and sitting down, but let's go back to neck. Neck pickup's really nice. Yeah, it's got that nice clear tally sound. Doesn't have any mud on the neck pickup, which is great. That's a pretty cool sound. Nothing beats one volume control. I really just believe that's all you need on most guitars. Still digging my Hot Rod Deluxe 4. They're great amps, no doubt about it. Guitar Hacks is very cool looking and sounding. Thanks, man. What model did you get? If you're talking about this one, it's the Mendiola, I think it's called. It's kind of like a tally-ish guitar. Mini humbucker. Yeah, very cool. I like the slanted neck pickup too. That's something that I've never had on a guitar, either the slanted neck pickup. So in a way, it's a little bit like the reverse of the Little Crow. Whereas I got a mini humbucker in the neck and that there. So, oh, well, a tally bridge pickup. But yeah, it plays great out of the box. Kind of surprised, just turned up from overseas. Johnny says, good to know about the Black Star. I might go back to the Hot Rod Deluxe. Much better amp. I would play one 10 times out of 10. Tempted, aim much higher. I appreciate that though, thanks. How's the neck finish work? Oh, the neck's beautiful. Neck is absolutely stunning. So it's kind of like a satin finish. I don't know if that sort of shows. It kind of looks glossy because of my studio lights, but it isn't. It's like a matte finish, very sort of smooth in the hand. Feels nice and slippery in a good way, not like a gloss, like the opposite of that. You know, very. It feels finished, but it doesn't feel sticky at all. So it feels beautiful. And you know what? One of the things I don't usually like are thinner necks. This is maybe slightly thinner than I would normally play, but I've got the same kind of profile neck on my Mexican Strat as well, so very much the same as that. Hey Riff, thanks man, I appreciate that. Small contribution to a fellow blues lover. Thanks man, thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, mate. Blues Boy Kentucky says, well, if you've got any questions, Riff, feel free, man, and I'll answer your questions. Blues Boy says, hey, Shane, have you ever tried the Fender Frontman 212? No. I think I've tried the Champion. Oh, no, maybe I have. So I think when those amps first came out, if it's the 100 watt amp that I'm thinking of, I always get confused between them and another line. So the solid state Fender 212 amps, the first one I plugged into didn't turn on. So it took about another few months before I got it to try one again. They're a good clean platform amp. 100 watts, they're probably not as loud as you would anticipate a 100 watt amp being, but they're still plenty loud. You could run pedals into it and stuff. That would probably be the best way to go. Did I only get the Mendiola, or did you get multiple? No, only one. I was just blown away. I got an offer. You know, it was right as Rick and I were getting out of Germany. I got a message on my. It was while we were there the last few days, and a message. Sometimes I'm a little bit cautious of messages like that. It's hey, pick a guitar. I love your videos, and I'll send you one. And I checked his website, and Rick and I are like, man, this guy makes some beautiful stuff. So after about 2 days of making a decision, I landed with this one. This is cool. I really like this a lot. It's always great when they're free too. That's a weird sort of thing to say, but it feels great. It's a perk of doing what I do, I guess. But I'm not. I never expect anything for free. Still, I just love the fact stuff like this can turn up, and I can share something unique with everybody. A lot of the pedal demos that I do are pretty non-mainstream stuff, and I'd love to do more of this. Not obscure brands, but stuff that people might not know. That's always fun for me as well. So it's always surprising when someone reaches out to me. Neck pickup's great. Turned down, it cleans up beautifully. Bridge is... That's great. I'm play that all day. Who kind of impressed you most with their playing? A guy called Michael Wagner. It's spelled with a W, but that's how you pronounce it. Best guitar player I think Rick and I have ever heard. There was so many great guitar players there, but he would have handed everybody their ass on stage if he played with them. Everybody else, Pete and all those guys are great. Something special about Michael. If you look it up, it's Wagner, right? Guy's just unbelievably good. Kafir's awesome as well. He plays everything great. If you didn't see that video we did where we were jamming, check it out. He plays blues great, but he plays everything great. I filmed a video on his channel for him, of him and another dude doing Spanish guitar stuff, and he's just one of those guys that plays everything extremely well. But I would say Michael Wagner, just unbelievable player. He's had the best feel, best fluidity, unlimited amounts of ideas. And he jammed with Rick on stage. He's sort of like a shorter guy, like my height or whatever, with sort of blonde hair, and I think he had a bit of a blonde goatee or something. Just look him up. He's something special. He can chicken pick like a monster. He can shred. He can play blues pretty much better than anyone I've heard. Just a really great dude too, just a killer player. Yeah, so I would say him. And Rick and I listened back to his live playing 15 times in the car. It was really, really good. Oh, how about this? I worked this out. So if you don't follow my feed on YouTube or whatever, check it out, because I posted a video of that song. This is an official video clip, and it's terrible. It's a great song, like one of my favorite songs of all time, but one of the cringiest video clips you'll ever see. Well, that wasn't right. Hey Shane, based on your PV vids, I have a PV 112 Sheffield coming. Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, so I didn't get a chance to jam while I was away. Ibanez packed up at 3 p.m. on Friday. The jam was at 7. I said to the guys, come on, I'll drop you $50, just let me play. And they're like, no, we're gonna catch a plane. So that was the end of that. But, you know, next time, I don't think I'll, if there's a next time, I doubt I'll have that same problem. I'll either go prepared, or I don't even know if I'm going back next year, but yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, Michael Bradley's guitar playing was awesome. Yeah, he definitely plays a great guitar, there's no doubt about it. I just think Michael's probably the unsung hero of the stage. I remember he got up and did, there was like 15 guitar players that got up and did a solo on While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and about 3 of them really caught my attention, and he was one of them. And I just went, wow, he's not in a rush, great phrasing, just beautiful execution. Just he's got that sort of he never questions where he's going. You know, like you can just tell everything's intentional. He plays with intent in a really musical way. So yeah, I would say Michael Wagner. He was just unbelievable. You know, I didn't get a chance to do anything with him while I was there. I just got to hear him play live, and I was like, this dude's the real deal. I remember when he got up with, he did one of the solos in one of Rick's tunes that he was doing. What's that? I'm going down, you know. Yeah, I'm going down, down, down. Yeah, that song. Just listen to that. And he's not only is his rhythm part just killer, the whole band was great, right? But his rhythm part was great. But then his solo is just off the planet good. And I remember Rick just saying to me, I just got my ass handed to me in the best way possible. He said something like that anyway. It was awesome. Fellow lefty here, how in the world do you find guitars just to try out? That one sounds amazing. So that's from Daniel. Thanks, man. Usually I don't really source them anymore. Everything you see on the channel is stuff I don't even ask for a lot of the time. But I just have people ask, say, you know, I make these guitars. Do you want to try one? Pick one. So yeah, it's a pretty cool place to be in the channel. I literally don't chase companies. I sent one email out recently to an audio company of something I'd love to try on the channel, even just as a loaner. But yeah, stuff like this comes my way from time to time, maybe once a year or something like that, maybe twice a year. But I just find stuff. Like I go to shops, I look around, I see what's out there as well. Like all the SX guitars were ones I purchased. And I'm just lucky enough to know a few shops that carry left-handed guitars. So that's locally, that's how it kind of works. But you know, these guys were completely off my radar. I didn't know about PureSalem Guitars at all, but I'm pretty impressed. Danny Pace says, thanks mate, I appreciate the super chat. He says, do I still own the Supersonic? If not, why? I want one. They're awesome amps. So I had a Supersonic 60. It was right around the same time I had a disc issue in my back, and it was just too heavy to get around. I remember I used to have to cart it around on a trolley and get it from the gigs, like get it into the venues like that. And it got to a point where my little car, I'd always have to lean over to put it in the back. There was no easy way of getting it in there. And I remember time after time, like my back was that sore at one point. If I leant too far forward with no weight in my hands, my legs would go, right? Because that's what disc issues does. It kind of it hits your sciatic nerve and a few other things if you're unlucky like I was. So yeah, I had a pretty bad time for a while there. I downsized. I think right around then I had like a Blues Junior, and then I went to like a I can't remember what I got, but I had like a Vox, like a smaller Vox or something. But was that after that? I can't really remember. But either way, I ended up getting small deluxe reverb. So I had a lot of smaller amps at one point, and that was why. Now I'm fine, so I could probably get one at one point, no doubt about it. What's the best guitar or amp you played at GitCon? You know, you probably laugh. Or is it? This was great. The Joyo Zombie. It's based on a Mesa Boogie. I really loved it, and Charles from Joyo basically said I could keep it. So that was pretty sweet. He didn't want to have to carry all the stuff back. So Rick and I both got a freebie. He's got that one there, the Jackman. So that was pretty cool. But overall, I love the Tubemeister 18. I thought that was probably the most versatile amp that I've played in a long time. That's kind of the reason we did that four guitar players, one amp video, because it kind of did everything. Like if I had to spend a little bit more time with it, you know, I had literally a minute to try to find my sound, and that was it. No pedals or anything. I would say that would probably be one of the best amps. And that was the same one Rick played live on stage. He was plugged into the Tubemeister 18. He did have his pedals, but as just a straight up amp, man, I liked it a lot. I wish we had a little bit more reverb or some reverb on the amp when we shot that video with the Tone King and that, but it was good fun. Unfortunately, there weren't a lot of brands when it came to amplifiers, so it would have been cool to have a little bit more variation, but I always thought H&K were shredder amps. And I sent them a message saying, like, I'm kind of surprised we actually liked them, because I avoided them based on the fact I thought they were, you know, like for metalheads. But not that there's anything wrong with that either. But yeah, I've just never considered them. But that Tubemeister series is pretty sweet. In terms of guitars, I only had a chance to play two. They're both Ibanez guitars. So out of those two, the Jazz Art Core one is the best, and most of the videos you'll see coming up now, I'll be playing that. In terms of what frameless guitars are like, I was pretty impressed. I got to say, I had no expectations of their guitars. I've said that from day one. They've never been on my radar. I can see why they've got a good reputation. They're like custom shop guitars, basically. So if you like high-end guitars, that's what you get. You don't get a cheap piece of junk. You get a serious instrument. So Rick bought one. He bought the two, like the SG style one with the two P90s. Hey, we've got Guitar Gate here as well. There's another. Oh, you asked me earlier who were some of my favorite players. There you go. Michael from Guitar Gate has the most unique sort of style I've heard in a while, and it was really refreshing. So welcome, man. We're gonna have to do a live stream coming up too. Just got to ask, what's a good price to pay for it? I don't know exactly what you're referring to. Oh, here we go. There's a classic Vibe 50s Telecaster used. Did you prefer the white or the butterscotch? Oh, look, in terms of color, just get whatever you like. I like butterscotch, but my friend Alex likes the white color, so just get what you like, man. Look, in terms of prices, I'm not sure what they sell for overseas, so anymore. It's been a while since I've been to the States, so just have a look and look up a shop and see what they sell them for and make him an offer. This is cool. See if I can embrace my inner Guitar Gate. You got this really great percussive sort of pick thing going. I used to play a bit like that on the guitar, like I don't know, like a lot of picking and raking and stuff. But yeah, you got this real. He plays much better than that, by the way. All right. So I did say I was going to make this stream 30 minutes, but let's just go for 15 more, and then we'll be done. I'll cut it off at an hour. then we'll come back and at some point and do an actual Q&A sort of session or something. Yeah, it's a great sound, no doubt about it. I think it's a good combination. I've got pretty much the reverse of this in another guitar, mini humbucker and Telecaster bridge pickup, in sort of like the opposite configuration as this. And this just works. And I like the fact this is angled. It sort of takes a little bit of that woolliness off the pickup, which it might be in my head, but so let's change patches here. Where's all my other ones? Oh, here we go. Who wants to hear a boogie? Yeah. So this is the oh, that's not it. Oh yeah, it is. I think the volume just dropped out of that, didn't it? Hang on, let's crank this up a bit. Hey, we've got Lando here too. How are you, man? Just says, didn't know your channel until GitCon, subbed right away. He's talking about GuitarGate. Yeah, great player, cool guy. Yeah, it's a certain guy, people you meet, you know, and you just feel like you've known him a long time, or you just sort of get along really well, and yeah, Michael's one of those guys. So yeah, check out his channel, guys. He deserves way more subscribers and support on YouTube. He's yeah, really great player. All right, so Daniel says, do I like the AC15? Which speaker is best for it, green versus blue? I think it's one of those things where you just got to decide what sound you're looking for. If you want a chimey sound, go for the greenback. If you want a fatter sort of sound, go for the blue. I sort of found for my sound that the blue wasn't for me. But, you know, your tastes kind of change too. So there's nothing to stop you from buying the cheaper one, which is the greenback, and then putting some other speaker in there at some point too. You're not sort of locked down to one particular speaker. And that's what most people should do when they buy a Blues Junior. Just buy the stock one and save money and buy a speaker. Buy the one you want. I think Shane is ready for EVH. Oh, I don't know about that. No, I'd like to give it a go. Man, this plays really well. It's early in the morning too, and I don't usually function too well in the mornings. Man, that bridge. And there's this stringiness to it as well. You can kind of hear the note under the dirt, which is pretty cool. That's probably a bit too dirty. Let's try dead clean here. This is a 2-rock one. Let's just turn this up a little bit. You gotta watch the Kemper. It gets really loud sometimes, and so this is yeah, this is that neck pickup. Both pickups is pretty musical too. Thumbs up for Pepsi Max. Thanks, Sonia. Appreciate that. Yeah, if you're enjoying the live stream, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't, hit the down thumb twice. That's what they say. It kind of cancels it out. Doesn't look like you're fighting it. No, not at all. That's a good sign. Woke up and just picked it up, and you know what? And the tuning's been awesome, huh? I haven't like tuned it since the second time I fixed the tuning, just because I got it straight out of the box. So someone asked me earlier when's my next gig. I'm actually playing tonight. So I don't know how I'm going to go singing, because it's not going to be it's not going to be a fun time. So my friend Brian's going to probably do most of that. I haven't told him yet, but yeah, I'm sure when he hears my voice, he'll go, don't worry, I'll sing. And he's a monster, so I can just sit there and play some guitar. So I think I'm going to restring this. And what have I got? Hang on, let me have a look. Oh, yes. I got 10 to 46 and 11 to 48s. So I always get asked, like, what do I play? I play whatever's the cheapest at the time. So either Diodarios or Ernie Balls. These used to be my favorites for years. And then these were my favorite for years because they were less expensive. But they're both, I can't tell the difference. I don't know. Some people get a bit funny when it comes to string brands, but I couldn't care less. You should bring that guitar tonight. I hope I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna give it a go. There's a sort of you listen to a profile my friend Ryan made of his Crystal 22. I don't think you can ever beat the good old PV Bandit clean channel, man. Sounds great. So many solid state haters out there, man. Yeah, that bridge pickup's awesome. Oh, I think that might have clipped. Sorry, guys. Anyway. All right. Shane had a newer Bandit with the Texas heat speaker already in it, but lost it to this. Hang on. Oh, hang on. I'm not sure what you're asking me, Brink. Sorry, Shane had a newer Bandit with a Texas heat speaker already in it. It didn't actually come with it. I put that speaker in there. Yeah, so I just think that's a great speaker for those amps. It kind of makes it just sound better. It's already great sound, but yeah, something about it. Welcome to everyone. Please subscribe and ring the bell. Thanks, Sonia. Appreciate that. Try Ernie Ball Paradigm. Okay, cool. Jeremy says, love the GitCon stuff. Dr. Rick is a force of nature. Yeah, he's a great player. A lot of people, I don't know if everyone knew who he was. There's a few people there, obviously, that did, but a lot of guys, I don't think, heard him play until the jam. No, they just went, oh, this guy's like real deal. Like back before med school, he played with Tommy Emmanuel, man. Like he plays all kinds of music extremely well. He has the best recall for music I've ever met. He can hear something and play it. You know, he doesn't even have to look at what their fingers are doing. You know, he's a great player. So yeah, he raises the standards. That guy, he's great. Hey, we got Mike Bradley here as well. Welcome, man. We're just wrapping it up too. I'm spewing. I'm going to get together and do like a YouTube hangout with a couple of you guys. So I'll be sending out some emails once I'm over this cold. we'll get together and we'll work it out and work out what the time differences and stuff. We'll just make sure it's, 3 a.m. for Mike Bradley. Let's just go back to my favorite patch on here. Let's go to the, what else we got here? Let's go back to the Bandit Dirt. How can you go wrong with a bit of PV Bandit in your life? It's the exact wrong tone. Yeah, guys, if you haven't seen Mike's channel as well, definitely check out his. And there's a couple of mics. There was like 12 mics at the event. I don't know how that ended up happening, but obviously I'm going to legally change my name before the next one. All right, guys. Well, wrapping it up to an hour, so yeah, I'll probably head off. But I just thought I'd share this with you. If you missed the start of the stream, I'll leave it enabled on YouTube. And yeah, this is the PureSalem Guitars. Mendiola. So company from Miami, Florida, and made in, I think, South Korea. So someone mentioned earlier, made in the same factory or a similar factory to the Reverend guitars, and that would explain why it feels the way that it does. So yeah, tuning's great, locking tuners. How can you go wrong? Yeah, the bridge pickup's where it's at. I love it. That's wrong. Something like that, isn't it? Check out that video clip. I posted it on the feed. It's hilarious. All right, guys, rock on. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Sonia, thanks for moderating, as well as Lando as well. I appreciate that. And yeah, I'll do a review of this in the next probably 7 or 8 days or something. Usually I like to make sure of a few things playability wise, but it feels fantastic. I want to change the strings and sort of find its, the best tones I can out of it. But already, even through some of these presets or amp models or whatever profiles I made, it sounds pretty cool. So, but can it do this? That's the real test. Just make sure if you go to a music shop, just play that. Just do it over and over. People will love it. All right, guys, thanks again, and I will catch you pretty soon. Like I said, guys, both mics, I'll send an email out pretty soon, and we'll schedule something up in the future, and we'll try and make it work. It'd be fun to do another one of those summit kind of things when we've got a whole lot of new faces on there too. So that'd be really cool. All right, gents and ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you on the next one. Take care.